Keanu Reeves notices a homeless mother with baby living in a car, and what he does will shock you. It was a chilly evening in Los Angeles. Keanu Reeves had just wrapped up a late-night shoot and decided to take the scenic route home. As his car glided through the quiet street, something unusual caught his attention. Parked on the side of a dimly lit street was a rundown sedan, its windows fogged up, and inside, a faint light from a phone illuminated two figures. Curious, Keanu slowed down and noticed a woman cradling a baby. She looked exhausted, her face pale with worry, while the baby's faint cries pierced the stillness of the night. The sight tugged at something deep within him. Keanu pulled over and hesitated for a moment. Approaching strangers could be tricky, but his instincts urged him to act. He knocked lightly on the car window, startling the woman. She quickly rolled it down halfway, her wary eyes meeting his. "Is everything all right?" Keanu asked gently, his voice warm but cautious. The woman hesitated before replying, "We're fine, thank you." But her trembling voice betrayed her words. Keanu noticed the bags in the back seat, filled with clothes and baby essentials. "I don't mean to intrude," he said, "but it seems like you've been here for a while. Do you need help?" The woman sighed, her shoulders slumping as she admitted, "We lost our apartment 2 weeks ago. I've been trying to find shelter, but everywhere is full. I don't want to trouble anyone. We'll manage." Her resilience was admirable, but Keanu couldn't shake the feeling that managing wasn't enough. He introduced himself, though she didn't seem to recognize him, and asked if she would allow him to help. "I promise it's nothing shady. Just let me help you and your baby get somewhere warm tonight." The woman, whose name was Clara, hesitated but eventually agreed. Keanu led her to a nearby diner, where he ordered a warm meal for her and formula for the baby. As Clara ate, she shared her story. Her husband had passed away unexpectedly a year ago, leaving her alone with their infant daughter Mia. Without family to lean on, she had struggled to make ends meet. When she lost her job, the downward spiral began. Keanu listened intently, his heart sinking with every word. "You've been through so much," he said softly. "You shouldn't have to face this alone." Clara nodded, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. "I'm just trying to hold on for Mia. She's all I have." After ensuring Clara and Mia were fed, Keanu arranged for them to stay at a nearby hotel for the night. Clara was overwhelmed. "Why are you doing this? You don't even know us," she asked. Keanu smiled faintly. "Because I've been in dark places too. Sometimes a little kindness can make all the difference." The next morning, Keanu returned to the hotel with a plan. He had spent the night contacting people who could help. "I've spoken to a shelter that has room for you and Mia," he said. "It's temporary, but it's safe, and they'll help you get back on your feet." Clara's gratitude was immeasurable, but as she thanked him, she hesitated. "What's the catch?" she asked, her voice filled with doubt. Keanu shook his head. "No catch. Just promise me you'll keep fighting, for Mia, for yourself." But just when things seemed to be looking up, a twist emerged. As they arrived at the shelter, Clara was informed that they had accidentally overbooked. There was no room for her and Mia after all. Clara's face fell, and Keanu felt a surge of frustration. "This isn't right," he muttered. Without a second thought, Keanu decided to take matters into his own hands. "All right," he said, turning to Clara. "Change of plans. Let's figure this out together." But even he couldn't foresee what would happen next. Keanu paced the lobby of the shelter, his mind racing for a solution. Clara sat nearby, cradling Mia and trying to mask her disappointment. She had dared to hope, and now it seemed that hope was slipping away again. Keanu couldn't let that happen. "All right," he said suddenly, breaking the tense silence. "We're not giving up. Let's go." Clara looked at him in surprise. "Go where?" she asked. Keanu didn't have a concrete answer yet, but he knew he couldn't leave them without a plan. He led Clara and Mia back to his car, dialing numbers as he drove. "I know someone who runs a community outreach program," he explained. They might have resources that can help. The drive felt endless, but they finally arrived at a modest office building in the heart of the city. Keanu's contact, a woman named Emily, greeted them warmly. She was surprised to see Keanu, but quickly shifted her focus to Clara. After a brief conversation, Emily promised to pull every string she could to find long-term support for the young mother. Emily made some calls, but the twists kept coming. Every program she reached out to was either full or underfunded. Clara's face fell further with each rejection, and Keanu felt his frustration grow. It seemed like the system was failing the very people it was designed to help. Then, an idea struck him. "What if we think bigger?" he asked Emily. "Is there a way to set up something new, something that doesn't just help Clara but others in her position?" Emily hesitated. "That's ambitious," she admitted. "It would take resources, planning, and time." Keanu's eyes gleamed with determination. "Resources I have," he said firmly. "Planning and time we can manage. But we need to act now, for Clara and Mia." Over the next few hours, a plan began to take shape. Keanu committed to funding a small transitional housing program for homeless mothers and their children. It wouldn't solve everything, but it would provide immediate relief for families like Clara's. In the meantime, Keanu made sure Clara and Mia were taken care of. He rented a small apartment for them, paid for childcare, and helped Clara enroll in a job training program. Clara was stunned by his generosity. "Why are you doing all this?" she asked one night as they sat in her new living room. Keanu looked thoughtful. "Because I've been in places where I felt lost," he said. "And I remember the people who helped me when I needed it most. Now, I want to be that person for someone else." The twists didn't end there. Clara proved to be more resilient than anyone expected. With the stability Keanu provided, she quickly completed her training, landed a stable job, and even started volunteering at the very program Keanu had helped establish. Months later, Clara invited Keanu to Mia's first birthday party. The modest celebration was filled with laughter and gratitude. As Clara cut the cake, she turned to Keanu with tears in her eyes. "You didn't just change our lives, you gave us a future." Keanu smiled but shook his head. "You're the one who built that future," he said. "I just gave you the chance to show what you could do." The program Keanu started continued to grow, helping countless mothers and children rebuild their lives. And through it all, Clara remained a testament to the power of resilience and the impact of one person's kindness. A single act of kindness can create ripples that change countless lives. Sometimes all someone needs is a chance and the courage to keep fighting.